afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to our podcast, The TUTEE'S Hideaway. So, right now, in our episode 2, we are featuring our guest host, Ellysa. She is right now in line with us. So, El, mind,
Hello.
mind introducing yourself?
Hi, I am Ellysa. Okay, what else do you want to know?
Anything your school car, college, whatsoever. Anything about
Okay,
yourself.
well,
Ah,
high school there, I went into Labuan Matriculation College, KML, with this guy right here. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not fun, bro. There's no fun fact about me.
So, Have you do you have any interesting background that you want to share, or what have you been doing lately lah sepanjang
Well,
zaman-zaman menganggur sebelum masuk uni ni?
my background, not a lot of people know this, but most people when they see me they thought I was like for a foreigner, which is surprising because maybe I nampak diri sa hari-hari di cermin kan, so I was like, you think this face as a foreigner, like dah lah. And they asked me my bangsa, they're also like which I'm confused because it's not a very well known bangsa, which is Kokos, native to, kalau Sabah ni dekat Ladatu lah, Ladatu, Kunak, like that. Tapi it's originally actually from this small island called Cocos Island, which is in Australia. So, yan lah, itulah kono-kono dorang bilang, orang Aussie, pala lang.
So yeah, that is a bit interesting fact from Elle herself. She's Kokos, and yeah, a lot of people has been thinking that she's a foreigner, and pernah aja ada orang tanya kalau one of her parents are like orang luar negara instead of tempatan. Jadi so back to our our main topic of discussion for tonight. So I just want since our topic ni is about your uh, dancing career, kan? What
Mhm.
actually made you, or what event or something that like triggered you and to find that passion of dancing in yourself? Like how you terdapat inspirasi itu ataupun dapat ini ilham lah untuk menari.
Good question. Let
Ah,
me think. If I think about it, I feel like I've been dancing my whole life, so I'm not very sure how it started, tapi let me think. If I think clearly, I think it started when I was in kindergarten actually, which is surprisingly lah.
oh,
Sebab you know how in kindergarten, I'm not sure if many people have still have memories from when they were in kindergarten, but I still have vague memories of it because of dance lah. I remember when you were in kindergarten, the teachers have you perform, right? Like they teach you some dances yang macam sumazau, murut apa segala kan,
ah,
and they have you perform in front of your parents, right?
especially
So
graduation
from there,
day
I was
kan?
like, this is kind of fun. Yes,
Yeah.
it's very fun.
Hmm.
I remember first time starting dancing was there. I was like, this is kind of fun.
Ah,
Then I entered primary school. And then during tahun tiga, I think, they had like an audition for untuk masuk club kebudayaan. And I was like, should I try? Should I try to this audition? Then surprisingly, I got in. Not only did I get into the club, but I could participate in the school dance team as well. We were called Stadansa back then. So yeah, I think that's really how my dance career started when I was in primary three. Yes.
very interesting lah. Like how you, like at a young age, to be honest, you have been pursuing this like since kindergarten. So like 16, 14 years plus sudah kan? Kau menarik
Mm,
sudah. Ya. Tapi
yeah.
macam saya dulu, tadika. Kami, because I was Chinese school kan. Jadi,
It is cool.
Chinese study kindergarten, we are literally trained to like dance like 2 weeks, 2 months prior before graduation day.
Exactly.
Ya, jadi
Kena paksa menari
hmm,
Jo depan parents.
so like kau mau tidak mau, your teacher taught you the performance, like kau ikut saja lah, kau pergilah menari. Like, yalah, kita
Exactly.
dulu, tadi kak tuh, mana lagi kita tahu malu lagi apa segala, kan? Like, right now,
Tidak urat
nah,
belum tumbuh lagi urat maru,
ya, like,
guys.
belum lagi trigger untuk ada tuh perasaan tuh. Ya, jadi,
Betul
it's
betul.
kind of funny lah to like think back dulu pas saya tadi kamu menarik tuh macam mana. Budak-budak, like, kalau saya tengok
Masih
sekarang
kayu
juga
nih
kan,
kan kita menari dulu.
hah?
Kayu semua menarik masa
Betul kayu gila.
masa
Waktu saya
tadika.
menarik sekarang pun, macam robot. I cannot move. Like, I can move, but I cannot move like how a dancer should move. Begitu.
Paham, paham.
Because, okay, uh, mau bilang menarik itu, I find it very fascinating lah. But it never, tidak pernah terdetik di hati saya kan yang, kamu kacau. Macam, coba lah mau menarik. Tidak pernah terdetik. Like, I'm just,
I think it's just not your
yeah,
interest.
I think it's just not my interest lah gitu. Even though I like to see people dancing, especially traditional dance lah gitu.
I think it's just because you have a love for like cultural arts, which I really appreciate that about you. Like you really have this kind of like appreciation for our cultural art in many forms, like like lukisan-lukisan,
Hmm.
cultural kita punya festival, kita punya, like you even asked me about my culture because
Yeah,
it's a culture that is not very well known, even though it's still native in Sabah,
yeah.
you know. So yeah, that's very interesting lah.
Because like you said tadi, dia ada perkampungan kokos kan, area sini, Punak
Mhm.
and everything kan. Yeah, we have also one in Tawau
Yes.
at Balung, dekat area,
Iya, dekat Balong.
ya area, if I'm not
Batu
mistaken dia dekat-dekat area
Long.
ITG Tawau lah, but mau masuk lagi. Nah, is it? No, I don't think.
I think Batu Enam kah or whatever.
No, it's Batu 12 or Batu 15 something. So when you yeah, there's
Oh.
like this big arch in front of the jalan masuk tuh. It will literally say apa itulah Kampung Kokos Balung begitu. Something like that. If I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
So
betul.
nampak lah. Jadi orang
Yes.
tahu oh sini ada perkampungan kokos gitu. Nah,
Yes, true.
so
There are not many of us. I feel like there's not many of us
ya, so, kalau kamu
orang-orang
cakap
fokus.
kokos di Tao nih tidak banyak. Sangat tidak banyak. Saya pernah jumpa pun jam 1-2 saja kokos di sini. Jadi tidak,
Then you met me.
ya then I met you. Jojo ada juga dari sana. Nah,
Iya bos, tapi yang ini tiba-tiba sesat di keke, bro.
jadi so talking about that. Jadi as a dancer lah kan, I want to ask lah. Have you faced any
Hmm.
stereotypes kah about people like maybe bad talking about ataupun they just have this like kind of a mindset that is not too open minded to people who are inilah in terms of dancing. Pernahkah kau terjumpa ataupun terdengar?
Woi, banyak gila, trust me, banyak sangat. Bikin sakit jiwa, tapi well, hadap siya lah. Macam, how to say sometimes I also pernah dengar, oh, dia ni tahu menari saja, atau dia tahu pandai buat apa-apa, atau like macam dia ni menari saja. They
Hmm.
don't take their study seriously. Hmm.
Ah,
Hmm. Which is very, it's not true.
kan?
It's not true because most people, they only see dances when probably they always see us during our practices or during our actual performances, but they never really see us when we're locked in ba. So they always have this like mindset that kalau nampak kami begitu, oh mesti tidak belajar, mesti balik rumah sebab penat after practice terus tidur. Bro, mana ada? Of course lah. At the end of the day, studies is still the most important thing in a student's life. So of course, we still need to find that middle ground and try to balance our studies as well. And And ada lagi satu stereotype yang I always dengar. This is from my kawan juga lah. Like, ada orang pernah cakap kalau lelaki ikut menari ni mesti pundan. Wah,
Ya. Like,
itu
itulah
itu
yang
I
selalu saya
kesian
dengar
lah.
lah.
Itu I kesian.
Like, okay, even though saya sendiri bukan a dancer, tapi I do have friends yang dancing lah juga, lelaki. Like, kau bilang begitu lah kan. It doesn't mean like dorang bergerak begitu, like, macam mana pun dong bergerak on stage tu, on how they perform tu, it doesn't reflect dorang punya, itu dorang punya behavior tu macam mana. It's just their passion,
Exactly.
it's just their hobby. So, who are you to judge? Like, if you're in that person's shoes lah kan, and you heard people talking like that, would you be happy kan? Tidak lah kan.
Bikin sakit hati pula
Itulah
begitu.
tu.
And like FYI, they don't know, most of the dancers kalau lelaki yang bawa, semua tarian dorang semua gagah-gagah pula. Semua dorang bawa representing the warriors in many of the cultures in Sabah. Like
Kan,
that's crazy. Apa yang pondan dia when they
kan.
represent the strong warriors in Sabah.
Like, take example lah kan, baru-baru ni yang MRK. Bukan MRK lah, dia sudah kena rebrand as RTK, Randawit Awantang tu. Like, when they on stage,
Dang.
they literally dance, ikut apa culture, ikut kaum apa yang dorang wakil. Kan? If you see lah, like,
Betul?
so like one of my favorite lah, especially yang penari ni, is yang Saya Mau Ginung tu, dari Dusun Tatana.
Oh.
I'm I'm just mesmerized on how that the like girls orang keliling that one man atau one
Yeah.
boy tu di tengah-tengah.
Yes.
And the aura tu kan is just wow. Kalau kau nampak kan?
For me, Saya Mau Ginum is a very lelaki punya tarian lah. It's like very centered on the guy instead of the girls. Because the girls, they all surround him in order, kalau ikut culture dia lah, yang from my what I heard, dia ada yang lelaki tu dia mabuk ataupun dia macam sakit bah. So they surround him in order to like cure him bah. Like that. That's like, see, there's so much cultural things that go into a dance bah. It's not just like movements. There's so much meaning going into cultural dances.
Like, banyak lah sebenarnya ni. Like, especially lah kan, I have to say lah, dancing ni, I have to say, it all originates from our culture. Like, how we modern dance tu, it's very, very, like, we can say dia adapt dari cultural dancing, kalau tengok.
Yep. Yes, I agree. Because why we have dances from all these different cultures in the first place is why pun is because they have these dances is kalau some cultures it's the girls dance is to macam welcome back the warriors going out for war or like yang baru habis hunting, ada lagi yang untuk celebration, for example keamatan. That's why lah we have these dances because kita mau ada keramaian tu yang festive mood.
Kan. Jadi sudah stereotype. So now we talk from your perception lah kan. Since you said yang kau sudah menari since the garden, exact to be, kalau betul lah kan. Jadi so now I want to talk ataupun ask you about during zaman kau SPM tu. Macam mana? Like kau kasih balance benda ni. Especially like in terms of your jadual kau, how you atur, and then your achievement lah. Semua tu. Like your journey basically.
So actually during SPM, it was really quite hard lah because I don't only have my studies to think about. I was also one of the orang kami panggil masa kami dekat high school forehead lah. Meaning I was the penolong ketua pengawas. So I have another burden that I have to shoulder. So it's like really hard as well. So during SPM, surprisingly, I was actually very active suddenly due to it being the year just right after COVID's lockdown. So I couldn't be active in my younger years due to the lockdown. So unfortunately, mau nak mau, I have to pursue dance in my last year because I have to boost my coca marks kan. So mau nak mau, I have to still join lah. At first, I was very scared to be very active in anything, especially in dance, because it is very tiring and it's very time consuming. You imagine lah, even during our school holidays, we have to sacrifice our holidays to practice because of a competition. So that's really, it's hard. And then at first, during my SPM years, I actually only wanted to join one competition, which was ISEP back then during 2023, because it was like in the earlier year of that SPM year. So it wouldn't like, disturb my studying or when I have to grind and lock in for actual SPM. And then suddenly our performance at that competition was liked by many people. And then from there our group started getting more and more recognition over time. So and then my teacher, my one of my macam cikgu yang urus kami menari lah. She convinced me to join just one more competition since it was also my last year as a dancer in high school. So, mana mau terpaksa lah saya ikut lagi satu pertandingan. Lepas tu, I
Oh.
just, at first, I contemplate a lot because it took us like around 2 to 3 months juga lah the competition because kami dapat dari peringkat daerah, kami menang, kami dapat excel pergi terus ke negeri. Lepas tu negeri mau compete lagi. Actually boleh je pergi kebangsaan tapi that time macam uh, tuan rumah susah sikit so kami ada sijil kebangsaan tapi we just couldn't technically participate in kebangsaan punya competition. So that's where I stopped lah. Because I said this is gonna be my last competition and it did. It was.
Oh.
And then I wouldn't regret it lah, even though I spent a lot of the first year and like a little bit of the half year of that SPM year dancing, tapi I wouldn't regret it because sana lah yang betul-betul I feel like I was at home with my dancers dengan adik-adik saya. But I didn't regret it as well because I still had plenty of time to catch up and like grind for my SPM whilst also having fun lah during my senior year in high school. Because when I think about it back, if I didn't have dance masa SPM, I would definitely be a very, very stressed student back then. I feel like even stress is not good for you, so I feel like I wouldn't excel as much as I did during SPM if I didn't have my dance back then.
Ya, itulah tuh. Sebab, nah, yalah kita pun like we are aware bah. Like, during SPM tuh, we are not just focused on our academics. Like co-curricular tuh kita maintain juga at the same
Because that's
time.
how the
Nah,
kerajaan
itulah
punya
tuh.
sekarang kan, like they don't want students that only excel academically. They also want like an active student, which I get lah, which I get.
Kan, like you have to have balance lah juga kan. Takkanlah kau mau duduk saja tengok buku, tidak buat apa-apa. Like something to like active yourself lah gitu.
I would go crazy if I was to study just hari-hari gila.
Gila. Nah, jadi kalau sudah kita cerita kau punya pengalaman masa SPM nih, jadi sekarang kita move lagi pengalaman kau in Matrix.
Very, very recent.
Like menarik tuh. Nah,
Believe it or not, tapi actually because metric was never my first option, right? You know that, right? Like it wasn't my first option. I actually had metric as like my safety school. Kalau setiap rapat yang saya mau di university atau mana-mana, I'm just gonna go metrics. And that's exactly what happened. And I was like, bolehkah juga saya masih menari di matriksnya? Macam tidak payahlah kali, macam malas lah mau involve in anything because my plan was just to stay low key bah. If you see pun, I didn't really join any clubs and like I didn't want any jawatan when I was in like college because it's like in a tinggi lagi sikit kan. So I feel like that responsibility is just gonna drag me down. It's gonna disturb my studies. So I don't want that. But then Hai, tiba-tiba ada this kakom thing. And then during
Ah,
sem satu pun, we had koki, right, which is basically co-curriculum. And then our lecturer was like,
yeah.
you guys need to have, yeah, you need to balance your co-curriculum and your academics as well. You cannot just excel academically, but you have to also excel co-curriculumly. So, mau not mau, I was thinking, what else can I do? You know, it's not like I'm active in sport. I am not an athlete. Sorry lah, guys, not fit, bro. And I was like, ada menari. So, I pun pandai menari. Berapa lama experience. So, macam yang might as well just pursue. Sekali na, got through audition. And then I found my supporting VLD family and made tremendous memories with them. It was so fun. Kakom was so fun. I wish I could macam turn back time. I didn't regret it as well lah because I met some really good people through dance. And then since I had gone all out for Sem 1, I tried to balance my study and dance by taking it slow during Sem 2 because a lot of our lecturers as well, and me personally as well, I could see that Sem 2 was very heavy. It was heavy and like more difficult than Sem 1. Like, bro, talk about organic chemistry. Why wasn't that in Sem 1? Why wasn't that in Sem 1? Why wasn't that in Sem 1? Organic chemistry is the cause of all my stress, literally. And then even, all the subjects suddenly, all the chapters have multiplied. Like from 7 chapters up to 10, 12 chapters. I'm like, huh? Especially chemistry. Why? Even
It like came from 7,
exactly.
tiba-tiba jadi 12.
Lepas tu kena split lagi.
Apa tidak terbelit mata kau tengok 12?
Terus kena split lagi kan, physical chemistry and then organic chemistry. Bro, just give me organic and I'll be okay. Yang macam banyak betul gila, like crazy man. Even bio got
Betul-betul.
harder, right? Even though I like bio, I was struggling through bio as well in
Yeah.
Sep 2. So like in a way, I'm a bit grateful because I made the right decision to like not participate as much in dance during Sem 2 because bro, memang tidak boleh lah. So I think that's how I try to balance my studies and dance lah during my chicks because masa Sem 2, I remember I only limit myself to performances or any involvement that are held earlier in the Sem and then nothing after that. I'm very glad lah because I stood by my stand because bro, Sem 2 was difficult. If I all out the whole Sem 2, menari memang saya tidak boleh excel oh. I would definitely be like very stressed and burn out from my studies. And thankfully juga because even though we didn't have co-Q masa Sem 2, we still need to have co-curriculum marks kan. Thankfully, I still got to participate in some activities that is not as tiring and as heavy as participating in dance practices lah because dance activities it takes a lot of time. You have to practice berapa hari kan. You remember our our English race? That was our kokum. That's where we gained our kokum marks, bro. Like
Yes, ya, sumpah, benda tu. Running throughout the whole college,
crazy.
it's like our second, it's like part 2 of blip
Yeah,
test
gila. That was our
PPC.
blip test. It was so crazy. This guy, he ran so fast, man. I thought he was an athlete back then. I was like, how is this guy so fast? Gila, dia kasih tinggal kami satu grup gila, dia lari. Paling dia excited.
So, yalah tengok benda tu kan. Guni-guni mau menang. Tapi kerja kau berlari
Lucu gila,
saja.
we were taking it so
Kan? Like
seriously.
to chase all the attention. Oh, take it seriously, girl.
Lucu oh.
Tapi masa kan, kalau tengok your Sem 2 yang paling last your perform if I'm not mistaken yang anu kan, malam
Yeah, yang
kebudayaan.
multimedia
Is
tu
it?
kan? Nah, that's like my first and last for Sem 2.
Ah, kan. If I'm not mistaken, that is like that's the only performance yang I get to see in front of my face.
Kau. Sem 1 dia tiada guys.
Akom was like I just Kakom, I just saw through YouTube live kamu menari. I still remember I saw you guys performing to handphone in my bus on the way going
Yo,
back
gila.
home.
Masa Kakom, it was like sem break
Saya ingat
kan.
gila masa tuh kayak
Syok lah, dorang dapat balik
hmm,
dapat balik rumah.
ingat
Kami
lagi
masa
tuh
itu
dia
di Kedah, bro. Competition,
tuh,
bro.
tuh. Saya ingat tuh like, kami baru limpas ke Payan. I was watching you guys through live stream.
Because it was our performance or like our competition was held during like 8 p.m. like that, 7 p.m., 8 p.m. Tampak sudah tuh.
Tapi las anu aja lah usaha tidak mengkhianati kamu juga kan.
Betul.
Nah, dapat juga kamu bawa balik
Betul.
emas.
First
First emas.
gold medal,
Nah,
bro, for KML. Really proud of us.
nah. Ya, saya pun tuh like bukan mau cakap lah, tapi when I saw semua college kan, I just say Camel yang boleh menang.
Lanjut masin.
Like itu yang terdetik in my head. Nah, bukan saya mau bias lah sebab ada kawan saya yang menarik, tapi it's just telling me, okay, Camel menang. Saya bukan bias. It's just my naluri hati yang cakap, orang boleh menang.
And we did.
And you guys did win your first gold medal for Kakom. Jadi, yalah kan. So, do you have like any future plans lah ataupun um, plans like trying to make this dancing ni as one of your future careers? Have you ever thought of that?
I got asked this question a lot because they see how heavily active I am in this dancing career. Tapi actually, believe it or not, I actually see dance as just my way of relieving stress and like how I'm able to express myself because I'm actually a very introverted person. Like I'm only loud when I'm like with this guy or like with my friends yang dekat-dekat. So like macam I really really don't like big circles. So macam through dance I'm able to macam get like a bigger circle, get to know more people, experience new people. So I'm not like cultural shock whenever I meet this kind of person later on in life. So like macam in a
Hmm.
way dance is very macam it takes that introverted side of me outside a bit, and I became this extrovert and I play like this character that because when you perform, especially if like traditional dances, which is especially kalau kau menari tarian kreatif lah, you have to play some kind of character or like some kind of role. So in my opinion, by playing this kind of
Hmm.
role, I'm able to express myself as like a performer. That's why I think I really like performing. Like, and also because dance is like just movement of your body. There's no, there's no, how to say, you don't use your voice, right? So I really appreciate
Yeah.
that because if you were to put me in a room and ask me to speak, memang saya diam dan saya bergegan. Tapi if you ask me to perform in a room of million people, I would gladly do it. But don't ask me to speak. That's why I say I'm like, there's this two sides of me. Like the real side of me is very quiet and very diam, very pemalu. But once I'm in like my performer punya macam aura, I turn into this macam very courageous, very confident, very macam outspoken person lah. I think that's why I like dance. Tapi I wouldn't pursue it as a career because um, personally, I would like to gain like money or like salary by doing something that gives back to the society, in my opinion. Plus, I have tremendous love for like science, so macam sayang juga lah if you really think about it. Dari saya high school, I ambil science. And then masuk college, still pursue science. all that knowledge just to throw it
Yes.
away and pursue dance like art. Bukan lah, it's not like a good career. It's just like macam saya rasa sayang saya punya all my knowledge yang I've gained throughout this years just I don't even apply it in my working life. So macam I take dance as just my side, my hobby. I wouldn't pursue it as my career lah, as like seriously talking.
Jadi dalam, as I can say that you are kind of experienced lah kan in this bidang menarik ni kan.
Sure. Yeah.
Um, setakat ni lah kan, setakat. What is your like yang kau paling favorite, your most favorite
Oh,
tarian
oh,
yang kau
oh
pernah perform?
no. Oh no.
Like if you don't favor, you can just give me like top 5 ka ataupun top 3 begitu saja.
Because here's the thing. Ever since in macam sekolah
Hmm.
rendah, what I mainly dance because what we selalu menari as like a kid was tarian kreatif ba. So basically macam all yang macam sharp, macam keras-keras punya tarian. And then suddenly when I masuk high school, I started indulging more into like traditional dances yang macam doesn't require all that sharpness. It requires kelembutan and everything, which is like 360 of me lah. Because dari kecil, I was harnessed to be this macam very agile dancer yang cepat-cepat on beat, menari laju-laju, bantak-bantak sana di lantai. And then suddenly, aku kena ayu betul-betul macam jadi perempuan. So macam, that shift kan really, I feel like that shift really helps me indulge more into like my dance experience because now I feel like lah, in my opinion, I master both dances now because I'm able to macam have that stamina for all the complicated tarian kreatif, but also have that softness for tarian traditional lah. See, if you were to ask me, ayo, hmm, hmm, honestly, I feel like kakom punya dance is up there. It's one of my top 5 because one, it's tarian Melayu
Hmm.
because kami pun time tu kami buat sendiri. No coach, no help. It was just us doing all the choreography, all the song, and the bola lantai. So it's like our own chemistry, our own hard work. And then tarian Melayu ni actually banyak sangat dia punya uh, how to say macam peraturan bah. You cannot break like macam uh, lembut macam how to say actually in kalau tarian Melayu perempuan can never look at the guy but the guy have to look at the girl. There's like this rule by that you have to strictly follow.
Oh, dia macam ada dia
Yeah.
punya anu lah,
Yes.
pantang larang lah begitu
So that's
kiranya.
what makes macam
Ah,
traditional dances actually more difficult than creative. Creative you can just lantak lah kamu buat apa gitu 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 gitu.
hmm.
Creative is hard in the sense of the movement. Tapi kalau tarian tradisi ni memang susah, banyak patah sila dia mau ikut. And then I think
Yeah.
one of my top as well would be my Lundaye performance masa my last ICEP. I participated as a dancer and the choreographer as well because from there we got really surprisingly we got many macam supporters and like recognition from there. Like a lot of people know us from ISAP masa 2023, which I was surprised. But from there, suddenly our school dance group, got called by like outside dance agency to perform in their dorang punya show. So macam, that's like, yeah,
Oh,
we got to meet
yeah, it's very good.
we got to meet many other people lah, macam like bergaul dengan orang-orang lain lagi, which is like orang dewasa lagi tu. And then I think why I also like Lundaye is because masa tu, punya saya stress, sudahlah senior buat anu lagi, mau buat choreo dengan SPM dia. But then even we didn't get like first place because we got third place that time, tapi we got macam apa? Anugerah kesukaan penonton, something like that. Macam we got like a medal for it, like a trophy.
Um,
And masa we perform for other
ah,
shows as well, it got viral. Bukan viral lah. Ada orang record us and upload it in TikTok. And then the comments were so positive. Like macam, wah, I never seen pula Lundaye kena bawa begini, blah 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 blah. And then there's my dad. He replied to the comments and was like, oh, koreografer dia ni budak 17 tahun tau. Sorry ya, kalau ada salah-salah dia baru belajar. I was like, so embarrassing. Tapi, it was like,
Bro is trying to promote the daughter at the same
yeah, it
time.
was so embarrassing for me. Tapi, macam when I think about it, actually I don't take it as like a big thing ba. Tapi when I think about it kan, wow, I did that I did that at the age of 17. I choreographed a dance for a competition, like a big scale competition, and it got many recognition from like macam orang-orang tokoh-tokoh menarik ba. Like macam I pun macam terkejut, like whoa. Because I remember ada one of my kenalan coach begitu. We met at masa Raptai ISEP, and then when he saw our dance during Raptai, he was also macam, why, sa gulong tikar lah begini ni. Kau punya pola lantai lain dari lain no. And I was like, what? I feel like at that time, I didn't see it as like a big thing, but now that I think about it, maybe I should give some credit to myself, like I did that, bro. That was not a small thing, bro. I did that.
Hmm.
And then,
Kan susah
yeah,
susah gila tuh kalau kau mau like in terms of choreography lah, aturannya tuh memang susah.
yeah. And I tried to make it as unique as possible because sa tarian tradisi ni kau tidak boleh tukarkan dia punya ragam. You can only main with the pola ba.
Ya.
So I tried to make the pola as unique and as like macam different as possible, tapi still macam keep that apa authenticity of that dance without changing
Keaslian dia
anything.
lah kan.
Yes.
Nah,
So like yeah, if you were to ask me, probably those two lah. Those two. Dance is my top. Sorry guys, kamu bercakap dengan Yepe. Banyak dia mau cakap.
okay. So as our last lah, wrapping sudah nih. So as a senior lah in this dancing career lah kan, what would your advice ataupun your tips would be to students ataupun to anyone who is trying to pursue this dancing passion ni as one of their inilah, as a part of how they would express themselves begitu.
Interesting. For me, my first tip is you just have to know yourself lah. You have to truly know yourself. You have to ask yourself, if I'm a student right now, if I were to pursue this dance career, which is already macam, it's very hard ba, because studies is already, it's like, as a student, it's part of your life, right? It's like a huge part of your life. And then you have to think, boleh kah saya sisip masuk dance into it? And if you think you cannot take it, you cannot balance dance and menari, for me, just step out and focus on your studies, because there's some things that you cannot paksa, and like at the end of the day, studies is the most important thing in your life lah, because with studies only yang you kau boleh go far ba. So if you know yourself, you tidak boleh handle the pressure, the academics pressure, or like the co-curriculum pressure, then just stop. You can pursue dance in another time, or like as not, kau jangan what to say, you jangan commit to a dance competition. You commit to dance performances. And then, mm, another tip. If you think that you can balance between the two, don't be greedy and arrogant. Oh ya, punya banyak orang saya jumpa yang begini, seriously. Berapa lama sebenarnya banyak je saya jumpa orang-orang yang begini ni. They get too greedy and they get too arrogant. Yang macam arrogant in the sense of yang macam, oh, saya ikut menari sampai international ba? Kau? Oh, hello. Be humble.
Dia macam Ya macam Lindsay lah bah kalau kita orang Sabah bilang
Yeah,
kan.
betul. Tinggi diri. Why?
Sembirang.
I was like, that's not a very good lah because hey, it's life. It's life. What you do to people, it's gonna come back to you. Kau sekarang, okay lah, tahap dunia kali kau punya status. Sekali kau punya studies, tidak. It's gonna bring you down. At the end of the day, tengoklah stereotype orang orang cakap pasal penari pun macam mana. Oh, dia tahu menari je. Mana pandai belajar tu, bla 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 bla. Padahal, in reality, most ada my friends yang she's a dancer, international dancer. Dia sampai Korea, she got 4 flat for both of her SEM. See, bro, she is breaking the stereotype most people have. Siapa bilang penari
Ya,
is not
like
smart?
kan. It's basically kita mau ada like apa? If you heard stereotype begitu, it's not a thing that you should like consume it to yourself and then like because you consume the stereotype on yourself lah, baru tu kau punya semangat tu kena drag down
Betul?
begitu kan.
Biasalah, orang
It's
tidak
like
tahu.
something you have to prove kan. It's like you have to prove yang kau cakap begini sebenarnya kalian boleh begini begitu.
Betul. That's another challenge for
Nah,
dancer as well lah. Like macam the pressure of like macam wanting to change people punya perspective on us dancers. Itulah, menari sejati pandai belajar, mesti dia bodoh tu lah begitu. I don't like that lah honestly because bro, you don't know our struggles, bro. You don't know our struggles. That's why lah, my tip is if you think you can balance the both of it, don't be greedy. You just know when to stop and when to take it easy. Meaning, you don't drop dance entirely, tapi you just don't do it as often as you usually would because you have to balance your studies, right? So, macam saya lah. Macam I already did enough of dancing masa SEM 2. So, SEM 2, I kasih lebihkan saya punya studies instead of my dance. That's how I balance lah. And then, for me, this is one of the most important thing juga lah as a dancer. Kalau kau betul-betul mau masuk ini, dance career, you have to have like a really good support system. You have to find good friends, guys, at the end of the day. Sebab this career is already as challenging as it can come. Like, not only in terms of like it clashing with your studies, but also internally. What I mean by that is not many dance teams have good relationships or even good foundation within them. So you just have to suck it up because of your passion. Like macam mana mau kau just have to take the critiques, dan teammate yang tidak bagus, yang cakap belakang kau, and like how to say there's because dance punya community is very competitive ba. So macam they like to bring other people down yang macam buruk kau menarik begitu gitu gitu, I do better than you. So it's a very harsh community as well, the truth of it. So at the end of the day, even if it's harsh and stuff, because of your passion, you just have to macam tabah je lah, kena tahan tukul and just adapt it. That's why I say hence the support system. You have to have someone outside of dance that after you perform whatever, you come back to them just to heal, like macam de-stress. Because bro, these people as well, this support group, you need to have them to keep you going lah, macam to keep you motivated. Okay, tabah je lah. Memang gaya dorang sudah begitu, apa boleh buat. Sorry, tak apalah, tabah saja. You're still maybe new in dance, so you're not excelling as the others. So macam maybe you got picked on atau macam the coach are very harsh on you. So you need those other people, your family, your friends, to say macam it's okay. You're still new. You need to work a little bit harder than everyone else because they are experienced or they just have the natural talent for it. But you have that passion. So mau na mau kau kena tahan tukul lah. Kau kena just hadap, just like slowly. Also, I think you need these people. You need the support system to how to say to keep you grounded, to keep yourself humble and stuff like macam kau kau pandai menari, ada lagi orang someone better than you. Like you need someone to constantly say that to you, like, "Syam, kau jangan ego, please. Kau jangan pikir you're
Hmm.
dashing." Like, no, 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 no. And then
Dan pikir kau sudah yang nomor satu
betul,
semua.
betul. And then you also have to have good friends lah yang macam I that are macam how to say they are brave enough to tell you to your face, I think you're doing a little too much. I feel like you're focusing a little too much on your dance and you're like macam abandoning your studies. So I feel like you either stop or you try to find suitable time or try to balance your schedule in order for you to not macam disturb your studies. I'm really grateful to have such friends yang I can rant about my dance yang macam, "Ay, stres gila, menari ini gini gini gini." And then they will be like, "Kau juga sendiri yang suka kan, jadi hadap sajalah." Oh, okay. And then if I macam terlampau indulge in it, they will be like, macam terlampau ba kau menari ini? Kau tidak risau kah kau punya exam? Exam mau dekat sudah, tapi kau masih menari. Kau tidak risau kah? So macam, you have to have those people speaking in some senses into yourself.
Uh-huh. So thank you to El for this wonderful perkongsian, this wonderful sharing. I hope to pada penarik-penarik di luar sana mungkin akan dengar podcast ini. Maybe you can get one or two things from this sharing lah. So thank you El sudi menjadi host guest kami malam ini. Thank you for your time. Yeah, thank you for your time lah,
Thank you for
especially.
having me, Chinguya.
So I think this is the end of our podcast. So stay tuned for us for next podcast episode.